Hi, we're here with another edition of Preparation Tech. Today, we're really super lucky to be talking with Eliza Casapopol, who is an artificial intelligence engineer in Amsterdam. And we are so happy to have her specifically because she has just been named as a finalist for the Study UK Award, which is very exciting. So I'm just going to start off by asking you to introduce yourself. What's your profession? Where are you currently working? And what do you do at your organization?
Cool. Thanks, Deborah, for inviting me. This is very exciting. My name is Eliza Casapopol, as you have just mentioned. I am working as an artificial intelligence engineer in Amsterdam at a consultancy company called MI Company. This is the kind of company that specializes in only one thing. So we always work for data science, data engineering, and AI projects. And that's my position. As an addition to that, I also co-founded a science festival in my home country. So that's also something that I do in my free time. So basically, that's what I do in terms of professions. But yeah, my goal in life is to make people curious. That's what I would like to describe myself as.
I think it's a wonderful description. So my next question goes back to you being a finalist in the UK Study Award. Tell us about that. What is the award and why did you become a finalist?
Yeah, so this is a nice story because I think in September, at some point I was on my train towards work. I saw that there appeared an announcement that the British Council is organizing these awards. It's a global award since about 3 years ago, where everyone who has studied in the UK in the past 15 years can compete in 3 different categories. The one that I decided to apply for was the Social Impact Award, because that is something that is very much related to what I do apart from my work. So for example, with the Romanian Science Festival. And it was basically a chance for me as quite a young professional to show what I'm doing, something that I was really proud of together with the team that we're creating this. And also it's an opportunity for people to meet like-minded alumni from UK. Because they really try to create a network with everyone who has been, for example, doing projects, who has amazing professional successes and entrepreneurial. So this is really a chance that the British Council organized so that people just have the opportunity to share their story and also meet other people with similar interests. That's why I applied. And then when I found, so it was quite a big application. You had to have, or it was good for someone to nominate you and also to write some essays. And I was really, really happy to hear that I was the Europe finalist award in my category. So that's a very nice thing to have for this strange year, at least.
Yes, congratulations. So you are the winner of the finalist of this award. Why did you apply for this? Like, was there something that kind of pushed you to apply for this?
Yes, so that's indeed an actual story. It wasn't just inspiration one day, but actually we had Yannick Nielsen as a guest to one of the activities we do at MI Company for leadership for women. And there she mentioned the fact that if you're young, you can always try to participate in different awards and try to apply for those, because none of the people that you've seen winning these awards before when they're 24, 25 just got it because people knew them. Actually, they did try to apply. So when I saw that that's a call for applications, I just thought about the fact that she mentioned that. So that was my chance to apply for it. Therefore, I tried my luck because she really encouraged us to do this. So that I also mentioned to her that because of her and her encouragement, now look, I'm a finalist for this award.
So you talked about a journey. Take us back. Take us on your journey. Take us back to your childhood and give us a sense of how you grew as a person from childhood into high school, into university, into your professional career.
Yes, sure. So I'm originally from Romania, and then I'm actually from a tiny place in Romania. It's called Mioveni. I'm very proud of this place because not a lot of Romanians know it. It's just a city that has less than 30,000 inhabitants. And I grew up there until I was about 9 years old. I was really kind of the girl that comes from a village, kind of. It was a very tiny town. We only had two schools. I always liked maths. And when I was 9, I moved to a bigger city. And that was actually a big chance for my life because that's where I've met one of my English teachers who told me that Oxford is the best university in the world. So I was 10 when I first heard that. And that just stuck with me. And when I was 10, I just said, all right, that's what I'm going to study. I want to study at the best university in the world. And of course, this is quite easy to say when you're 10. But I also remember when I was 18 and I was already in my penultimate year of high school, that it's going to be more complicated than that. But I still applied. And that was actually my first plane ever. So I flew for the interviews because they invited me there. And I felt really lucky to be there. I was buying all the souvenirs possible because I never thought they will accept me. And then, yeah, I just came back to Romania. It was a great opportunity. I was meeting all these brilliant people that I thought I will never see again. But they did accept me. And that was definitely a second big opportunity in my life, going to study in a Western European country at the best university in the world at the time. And that's definitely something that shaped my personality, who I am, and my interests.
I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
the funny thing is, like, in doing my research, we come across kids from all different parts of the world that are living in Amsterdam. And we have had several Eastern European kids. And there seems to be a tradition there where women are very active in math, in science, and engineering, and computer science. So you are obviously part of this reality. Is there something in the education system in Eastern Europe, in particular Romania, that encourages girls from a young age to embrace these fields?
I don't think so. I noticed this as well, and this gender balance is something that I only heard and being promoted when I moved to the UK. There isn't much in Romania. And I kept thinking, why is it that in my high school, in my class, the best for students were 4 girls, and the people who were competing in maths competitions were 4 girls? So the reason why I think that was happening is because during the communist time, women had to work just as much as men had to. And getting better jobs, being an engineer, being someone working with technology, was one of the highly paid jobs. So then maybe it wasn't necessarily a women thing or a men thing. It was always a desire to get a good job. So everyone was striving for that. And indeed, I also see that at university, there isn't a big difference in terms of how many girls get there and how many boys at mathematics olympiads, which is something I've done for my entire childhood. There wasn't this gender balance very striking. And also it's interesting because it's not something that people talk about. It's not something promoted in school or people being actively doing something about it. It just happens to be that way.
Well, it's a good thing. It's
definitely a good thing. What might happen is that indeed, as soon as we get to positions inside companies, maybe that is the place where you can actually see a difference. But not at the beginning of the career or at the moment in which people make choices for their studies.
Okay, so let's go back to your career now. You finished Oxford. You graduated from Oxford in mathematics, was it not?
Yes, it was math and computer science at the beginning. That's what I applied for. I did 1 year of computer science and maths, and then I decided that I'm just better at maths. I liked it more. I was being more productive. I really enjoyed going deeper into subjects. So I decided to drop computer science after my first year. And then by the end of the university, when I was doing my master, I realized that I was meeting again my colleagues from first year, because we were kind of choosing the same subjects, which were basically at the intersection between math and computer science. So I was, so I went on a side track. I was going more into math, and then it was just too deep. So I decided to be more applied for the work. So I was taking more computer science-y mathematics courses in my master.
Okay. And then from Oxford, you came to Amsterdam and you joined Me Company right away?
Yes, it's not right away, but there was a few months of transition in which I was doing different stuff. I had another project that appeared at the beginning, but that just didn't happen. And then I joined my company. Unfortunately, not mine, but the company I work for.
Not Me Company, it's my company. Okay, my company. Okay, all right.
And since then I've been working here. So indeed, I would say that this job is definitely my first full-time grown-up job.
Fantastic. What kind of person thrives in your field? So can you describe the characteristics and also the mindset of a person who does really well in artificial intelligence, computer science, this kind of thing? And this question is more to give the viewers an idea of whether they know kids that have these kinds of characteristics and mindset.
Yeah, that's a good question. And what probably is gonna surprise people is the fact that being a good professional in this doesn't necessarily mean you have to know coding really well or ace a specific programming language. I think that's, from my point of view, that's quite outdated right now, because all this technology is so new and is developing all the time, that the main characteristic that everyone has to have is to be adaptable, because it just changes all the time. If you are good right now at something, probably people are just going to learn a new technology that in 2 years time is going to be the best technology on the market. So what you have to do is just to continuously learn, adapt to new situations, new technologies, new pieces of software that appear to help us, so that you keep yourself in front of everyone, or at least together with everyone as technology develops. So that's definitely something important. Also, I did study maths. I'm looking at the people around me. I can see people I have studied physics, have studied astrophysics, chemistry, engineering. But what I see there in common is a bit of number numeracy. So people kind of understand numbers. They are not something completely uninteresting for them. But also I see people at my company that are amazing at technology and have studied marketing. So they also have something in common. They're just passionate about these technologies and they want to learn. So that's also something important to keep in mind. If you are adaptable and you want to learn, you kind of like numbers, how they work, how you solve problems, I think 3 good qualities to strive in this field.
Okay. I'm hearing a lot of people with the beta skills, science and math. What about artists and designers? Do you have any kind of interaction with these kinds of fields? In professionals? Yeah.
Yes, we do. Of course, we do have, even in the company, we have people who are artistic because we need them for everything, for our websites. But even now, I'm thinking that art is now becoming very close to technology. There's not that many people who are even painting on like outside the computer. People are now painting on the computer, on their on their tablet or something like that. So I think now they're just very fine. And what I'm seeing even more now with the online classes that are happening in schools, it's just that you have to be creative everywhere. You have to be creative when you're working with technology, when you're an artist. So that's also a good skill to have. So if I'm doing an online class, I'm gonna always think, how can I creatively entertain the people on the other side of the screen? And that's something that you have to develop as well, even when you're being a technologist.
Yeah, awesome. So you went to Oxford, and I can imagine that was a very rigorous program, but you also had time to launch the Romanian Science Festival. Is that correct? At Oxford while you were studying?
Yeah. Yes, I was there.
Tell us about that, because another thing that is really, really obvious, I'm from Canada, and so you know, when universities look at you and judge you, they're wanting to see the academics, but they're also wanting to see what you do outside of academics. And I can't believe that you had time to actually then initiate this project as well. So what is the Romanian Science Festival?
Sure. So Romanian Science Festival is a project that I started together with three other Romanians that I've met at Oxford, graduates or people who were working there in the library, for example. And that is a festival. It's really something that came because I participated in my third year at the Ireland Maths Festival. People were going on the streets and doing math experiments to literally everyone passing the street. It was very fun. So you would go to a shopping center, but actually we were there in front, so people just see some math and learn something in an entertaining way. So we thought, well, this is something that definitely grow in Romania and has a huge potential because we are very good on formal education. Everything is very theoretical. There is quite a good education in terms of sciences, but just very little informal learning for these sciences, and also hands-on experiments on how to play with chemistry or physics or math. So we wanted to do a similar thing in Romania, and also to make this science not only available to everyone, but also accessible. Because there are a lot of kids living in villages, quite isolated from cities, and there's a huge difference in the education you can see from a city or from a big city to a small village. So we've been really working hard to get sponsors that can also bring people from villages to our festival, and also involve these kids to not only see the experiments that we are doing, but also having them responsible for some of the experiments, which them also puts them in a different status, because they are presenting something, so they feel stronger and they feel smarter, and it's just open to everyone. What makes it really special is because it's the fact that we are trying to create this bridge between all these Romanians who have been studying at the top universities everywhere in the world and the education system that is in Romania. Because there's a lot of knowledge that we have, and also experiences that we have, that we are really willing to share with the people in the country. So that's something that is very special about this festival, and I think that really, really makes people enthusiastic about it. It's a new way of teaching sciences and making everyone interested in them. And it helped a lot to be at Oxford while starting it, because actually all these mentors that we have from abroad, or 80% of them, are my friends from Oxford or from Cambridge. So we've created this network of friends there. They're not just acquaintances, really friends. And then we can use this one to have even more mentors from abroad. So yeah.
I love your idea of giving back to the country that gave you so much. It's really wonderful. Are there any particular teachers from your past or people right now who are really inspirational to you?
Yes. I like this question a lot, and I was thinking about it because I realized I have different people who inspired me at different stages of my life. So definitely I have that English teacher that once told me about Oxford, and I don't even think that she knows she is that English teacher who said that to me, but she's been really changing my life. But then I also look at the professor that I had in university. So first, I would really actually like to mention them because there's two that are very special. So the first one is Coralia Cartis. She was my mathematics professor, also the professor who helped me with my thesis for my master and license. And she's also Romanian. So that was extremely special to have such a professor. But I think what made her so special for me is the fact that she really, really supported all the students. It wasn't about Romanian students. It was really about supporting everyone. And she was just very passionate about her subject. And then I also had Vicky Neal, who's just, I think, an expert in outreach. I don't know any other professor teaching maths who can make it so interesting for the whole audience, for the public. She's knitting with maths. She's introducing her cat in her stories. She wrote a book. She's really fun, and you can see that people like it. when she talks about math, suddenly it's just not a boring subject anymore. So that's also some of the energy that I want to bring in the festival. And now also I got here at my company, and we have Hertje, and she's one of the partners of the company, and she's just a different kind of leader. She's just amazing in having people around her ideas and gathering people and motivating everyone to just believe in what she's saying and just get on board and start working on things. And these are definitely three examples that are striving in something that I had a lot of things to learn from, and I hope I'm gonna be, better looking at them.
And they're all women, so there is something to be said for women supporting women as well. So that's very important.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Two last questions. The first one is, what advice would you give adults? And I'm talking about parents, teachers, and especially school guidance counselors who are actually advising kids on what areas to study and what fields that they might go into. What advice would you give to them in terms of their influence on kids?
Yeah, so definitely don't say that any kid is not good at something. They should really, really experiment with everything. So my first advice for grown-ups in their relationship with the kids when they're trying to guide them on a career is just to give as many opportunities to try stuff. Even if it's open days from the European Space Agency that we have here in the Netherlands, or if you have contests for teenagers from Google or from Facebook, just try to inspire them to see what these things are. And then they will see if they like it or not. In the end, it's something that does come up. But if you never saw something like this, you don't know if you're good at it. Mm-hmm. And then, as I was saying, for me, it's very important to have around me curious people. And I'm also just doing as much as I can to learn from as many different fields as possible. Because, for example, your kid might be very interested in psychology. So maybe he can or she can see how is psychology combined with technology and what you can bring out of that. So even such a thing, and introducing them, looking for mentors in that field who are probably using technology as well, because that's what's happening right now, would just be a great eye-opener for the kids. And there's also a lot of resources online that you can subscribe your kids to see. For example, the TED educational videos, they just email you every day with a new video that you can learn from. Also, Oxford has some great resources. So yeah, these are some examples. If you're also Romanian or you understand Romanian, you can always look at our webinars. We also do some from my company in the Netherlands. So look out for these kind of opportunities that companies do, that university do, so that you can expose them to different jobs in these careers.
Can you talk about the resources that Oxford has? Because I'm not familiar with those. What kind of
things? So they have videos that this has started quite recently with the current situation. So they have videos. So I can also send you maybe a link. I don't know if you can put it here. But they have videos with experts in different fields that they get together, they discuss about the question in their field, how they view it, what they do at their work. And sometimes they also have just informational videos about different processes, technologies. So that's also something that you can watch for fun at home.
Perfect. And my last question is, what advice can you give directly to kids about how to pursue their passions if they have passions that may intersect with technology?
Yeah. How to pursue them in terms of, should they continue with their passion and not look at other things, or should they?
What they can do in their childhood to basically make this connection, right? Because at the end of the day, we're in a world, and we're moving even further into this world where the intersection of technology is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So if you are, for example, interested in trains, or if you're interested in dance, I interviewed Miral Kutob from Illuminate, and this was a woman who was from a young age really interested in dance, passionate about dance. She became a computer programmer, and she's now created this whole company that is light-based technology, and she's worked with the Black Eyed Peas and all kinds of people. So that, I guess the question is then, what advice would you give to kids and how they can start to combine their passions with technology? Is it after school clubs? Is it,
Yeah.
gaming?
Sure. So definitely try to do things outside of your school hours. Try to enroll into groups with people who are passionate about what you are passionate. You will always find a teacher in your city who would like to do such an after school club, for example, or someone who is just keen about a specific topic and they're just gonna guide you more with it. So try to do that kind of things. What I always loved and what has changed was also participating into summer schools. So there was one summer school that I have been always participating into every summer. And then I just learned about everything. We had music, we had maths, we had English, we had dance. It was so nice. And that's also where I started my dance passion for no particular reason. It wasn't related to mathematics at all, but this is also one of my favorite hobbies right now. So try to participate in this kind of summer schools. There are some everywhere in the world. You can also go to a different country to do such a summer school. And then you also meet people from other cultures. And then you can definitely broaden your horizon also by understanding other cultures, how people behave. So that's also an activity that I strongly advise. I would say just sometimes you can see this kind of competitions organized by different organizations, like the World Health Organization sometimes does specific competitions for teenagers or kids. So if you try with your friends to just join such a competition, maybe you won't win, but you will definitely just have fun. You'll create better memories with your friends and also learn things that you will use in the future. So definitely stay focused on your school, but also think about other activities outside it, after school courses, summer schools, and also just kind of competitions that you can look online, or summer camps.
So that's like the math olympiads that you competed in when you were in, was it high school or primary school?
Yeah, I started very early. I was, I guess, 9 when I started maths Olympiads. So very early. But to be honest, looking back, I don't think that the maths Olympiad helped me as much as the summer school that I was talking about. And that's actually a summer school offered by Kangaroo. That's an international maths contest, but it's not really maths that you learn in school. It's more like maths for fun. And then in Romania, it was just gathering all these very, very smart kids. And we've been there every year since I was 10, 12. And now I see, actually, I have a network of incredibly smart friends who are everywhere in the world that I've just managed to develop because of that summer school. So yeah, that was luck for me, but I would definitely encourage every kid. If you feel like you like numbers, try such a competition and also try to go to such a summer camp. It's really, really valuable.
Right. Well, Eliza, thank you so much. This has been such an awesome interview. I think you've given us a lot of insight and perspective into what goes into developing an amazing woman who has attended Oxford, who's now working in AI, and who has a very social conscious as well. And you're very focused on giving back. And it's just been a real pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having this opportunity. And as my final just advice for everyone is just to wish for whatever you want, no matter how big it is. If you never travel to another country, there will always be a time for you. Just try to get your dreams and never just give up. It just doesn't work that way. You can definitely do them. So yeah.
Great final words. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Deborah.